You are Gabriel
Usted es Gabriel.
Martinez.
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martinez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow.
Alto sobre.
You are facing up to a year in jail and a $4,000
Una
fine.
multa de $4,000.
You guys have worked out
Ustedes han llegado a
agreement.
un acuerdo.
They're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 2 days that you have done. You need to understand, sir, that this charge will go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. And you need to understand that if you ever pick up another case, you will be facing a minimum of 90 days in jail, forever and a day. And if you're not in this country with permission, you do that kind of time, you will probably get an immigration detainer. Do you understand?
¿Lo entiende?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
Is this a true first?
Dice,
Yes, Judge.
Sí, señoría.
You are giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, it will go on your record and you can never change this or undo this. Do you understand?
¿Entiende?
Sí, señor.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
still want to do this?
¿Quiere hacerlo?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Hable.
Culpable, señor.
I will
Guilty,
find
sir.
sentence you to 3 days in jail, give you credit for the 2 days that you have
Por los
done.
2 días que ya.
Is it true or untrue that you had a .15 or above?
Más alto.
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
True to that enhancement. What do you do for a living, Mr. Martinez?
Yes, señor.
Mantenimiento de apartamentos.
I maintain apartments.
How much money do you make a month?
Dinero gano usted al mes.
1,400.
3,400.
Who do you support
¿A quién más
in
tiene?
life?
My wife
Do you have any children?
tiene hijos.
No.
We
Okay.
got 9 dogs, Judge.
Pero tienen
They
9
couldn't get rid
perros.
of, you know.
9 dogs.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes.
You gotta see the
El
food.
olor.
Nobody wanted.
Nobody wanted the dogs and because of the
Nadie quería
hurricane,
los perros por el
SPCA,
huracán.
nobody would touch them. They've been raising 9 dogs. It's a carnival.
Criando 9
So, hey,
perros.
you know, if anything, sir,
Y si cualquier cosa,
you know,
señoría,
it's worse than.
The reason I am asking you this, Mr. Martinez, is that you need to understand that
entender.
DWI is big business
Es un negocio
and it costs a lot of money.
que cuesta mucho dinero.
And
Sí, señor.
one of the things that
De las cosas
there is now with this conviction is there is a DWI surcharge that DPS hits you with. And when you have a .15 or above, it is a $4,500 surcharge that tax onto you. Not to mention the court costs in this case, which are another $500 to $600.
$600.
That's why I'm asking you this. So you could literally be rolling out of here with about 5,000 plus in surcharges and fines and fees. I want you to understand that I will give you this grace now. But if you ever come back with a DWI, a second offense is $6,000 in surcharges, not to mention court costs, which are another $600. So you can literally be rolling out of here on a second DWI with around $7,000 in fines and fees. And if you don't pay it, for every $100
Cada
you
100
owe,
es que usted debe
it is 1 day in jail.
un día en la
So
cárcel.
if you come back with a second DWI, get ready because the first thing is a minimum of 90 days. The next thing, it's around 7,000 in surcharges.
7,000.
Do you understand?
Sí, señor.
Yes,
If you
sir.
want to get lit,
Usted quiere.
if you want to have 32 beers, 52 shots of tequila, don't get into a car. Find another way.
Encuentre alguna
Do
otra-
you understand?
¿Entiende?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
All right. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Culpable.
Guilty.
I'll find you guilty, sentence you to it.
Atención.
Good luck to you, sir.
Así y buena
Sir,
suerte a
he
usted.
became a US citizen.
Thank you, sir.
He became a US
Se
citizen.
convirtió en ciudadano
Good
americano.
job.
Because-
Our streets to be safe.
Lo único que quiero es que las muchas
Every day, someone dies from a DWI,
días
and it's just not fair. When a $30 hit on a button with an Uber will take you wherever you want to go. How much money have you spent?
tanto dinero ha
Could
gastado
have been $30.
más de los $30.
Yes, sir.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Así que, y buena
Thank you so
suerte.
much,
Thank you, sir.
Buena suerte.
I'm not going to continue to play this game with you. Mr. Castro, I'm not doing this again.
Sir.
Look at me.
Sir.
I have people that continue to come back over and over and over. And I want you to look at me because this is going to be a life-changing moment for you right now. They keep coming back. They keep pleading guilty. They keep coming back. They keep pleading guilty. And it's a revolving door. The door stops today. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If you are unable
Sir.
to not pick up cases, then we are going to delve deep next time as to why it continues to happen. If that means putting you in a rehab facility, in a dual diagnosis residential facility for figuring out mentally why these things keep happening, then so be it. The door stops today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you understand, Mr. Castro? I know you well. And in the last 2 to 3 years, we're working at least. Since you and I have been together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stops today. If you are unable to exercise self-control, we are going to dance a lot together next time. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hear me loud and hear me clear, Mr. Castro, because I'm not doing this again.
Yes, sir.
We will have issues next time. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Right there. Yes.
You now stand charged with theft. Hey, how many is this anyways? Is the next one a felony regardless?
I don't believe so, Judge,
I believe it's a
actually.
hard test, Judge.
You run an CIC for me, please, Morgan. Let's take a look to see. 'Cause I want to advise him properly as to, you need to understand that every time you plead guilty to an offense, it goes on your record.
Yes, sir.
And when you pick up a certain type of offense consecutively and times, they can put it together and they can file a felony case on you, and you're looking at years instead of days. You now stand charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. They've offered you 6 days in jail credit for the 2. Any prior thefts, Morgan?
No, Judge, I'm not seeing any.
You're giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement.
Yes, sir.
You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Mr. Castro,
Yes, sir.
I want the best thing for you, but it continues to happen. So somehow we're not getting through to you. And we need to get through to you so that you understand it's not okay to continue to pick up criminal cases. And in the few short years you and I have been together, we're now working 12 cases. This is not acceptable. What do we need to do to get it to stop?
Yes. That's. But yes,
Shh.
I'm completely capable of these, and because it is so highly agreeable. So I'm on top of it myself as much as I would be able to. This place, it is interestingly confusing, but yes.
Let me tell you something. I have a couple people in here that have continued to come back. And what we have done is now have them in facilities trying to figure out why they cannot stop picking up criminal cases. I'm telling you, I've got probably about 4 or 5 individuals that have kept with me. You now are on my list. So heed this warning.
Yes.
Do you understand, Mr. Castro?
So,
How do you plead to the offense of theft? Guilty or not guilty?
guilty, sir.
And we'll find you guilty. I will sentence you to the agreement. Good luck to you, sir. All right, Josh. You're on bond for this DWI. You've been on bond since 2019, and now you've picked up a couple felonies out of state. I don't want you to talk about the case. My only concern is while you're on bond in this case, you're supposed to behave yourself. You're not supposed to pick up any new cases, and you've picked up a couple felonies out of another state. Are we supposed to reward you for picking up new cases? What else has he done, Ms. Ziegler, since 2019? 2 cases, 1 case?
Just one case from October.
Why should I not revoke his bond and put him in jail now? He's on bond for this case. He's been on bond and he now picked up a felony in another state.
And I do understand that, Your Honor. I think that just in the interest of justice, I think that given the facts, and obviously we're not here to discuss what's going on in Louisiana.
Are you representing him in Louisiana?
I'm not, no, Your Honor, I'm not representing him in Louisiana, but obviously I'm in contact with counsel there. I think without getting into the details of that, Your Honor, I think it's an extraordinarily interesting law that they have, or laws that they have in Louisiana, where what we would consider as a technical civil dispute somehow gets transformed into a criminal matter in Louisiana. Obviously, the French civil law, I don't even attempt to try to understand those rules, but it is more of a civil dispute more than some type of fraud that was taking place in this situation. I think we're very optimistic that that's going to get resolved. Obviously, I've just been on this matter, Your Honor, focusing in on the CWI matter, Your Honor. Yes, it was a crash, but the facts as set forth in the incident report, Your Honor, he did not collide with another vehicle. He didn't hit a pole. He didn't hit a tree. Instead, based upon the report, he swerved to avoid another car coming out of a private driveway. So to avoid from hitting that vehicle, he swerved, hit a curb, which resulted in blowing out the tire on his vehicle. The car had other people in the car, and obviously that creates some issues, as Your Honor could imagine. But this was not a DWI case where he's driving down the road 60 miles an hour and crashes into someone or anything in that realm, Your Honor. So for those reasons, I think in the interest of justice, having him to go to jail, not that that's what's on the table right now, but having
It is on the table now because he picked up a felony case while he's on bond for a case, right? He's been MIA for 5 years, and now you want some kind of in the interest of justice. The interest of justice is that we protect our county. You're on bond for this case. You've been on bond for 5 years. You've been gone. Now you pick up a felony case. Are we supposed to pat you on the back? No, I'm revoking your bond. I'm taking you into custody. What are we supposed to do? You know, you can't just be gone and then you pick up a felony case in another state. I mean, what are we supposed to do? You know? Really. But you have to understand that actions have consequences, right? You're an adult. Your failure to act, your failure to come, you're picking up a new case. Now, I know that you say it's a civil dispute, but they found enough probable cause and a grand jury indicted you. That's usually between 9 to 12 people that sit, have completely neutral and detached, sit, listen to facts and determine, hey, we think this person may have committed a felony offense.
Which it was original arrest warrant, and it's still, they still hasn't accepted charges.
And Your Honor, again, not getting into the details, and it's not, we're not here to try to resolve the Louisiana.
I get it, but
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
No, Your Honor, and I'm just, let me suggest it, Your Honor. What happens in Louisiana is this. There's a civil dispute between the parties, what we would call a civil dispute. And as a result, in Texas, what we would do in the event if a contractor or subcontractor is not paid, we place a lien on someone's property. In Louisiana, if that same transaction happens, the homeowner, now obviously there would be consequences, and maybe consequences for that homeowner, can call the DA and say, no, this guy ripped me off. Notwithstanding the fact they owe him money, this guy ripped me off. And if the DA there,
Because I've had two people that have done that to me.
Your Honor, over there, Your Honor, over there, that it turns into a criminal matter. So again, we think it's going to get wiped away. I know we are this close to getting this matter resolved. And I think in all respect to the court, all respect to the bench, Your Honor, not being here for 5 years is a major issue. This matter should have been resolved a long time ago. Had I been brought in 6 months ago, it would have been resolved 6 months ago, Your Honor. We're just asking that, one, if there could be a level of grace and mercy extended to Mr. Williams at this today, I think we could get the matter resolved today, Your Honor. Obviously, I haven't had an opportunity to look at the medical records. I haven't had more than 30 minutes to even examine the record.
And you know, I'm sorry that you're being placed into this precarious position now. And the facts are what they are, right? If we could make our own facts, we would all win. But at times, the bill comes due. That is today. But if you think that you can just continue to get away, jump 5 years, come back, and while you're out there, you pick up a felony case as well, I can't because I would be telling you that behavior is okay, and it's not. If you guys are able to, work something out, by all means, I'm okay with that. But I can't in good conscience, when he's been gone for 5 years, he picked up a felony, whether it's in Abu Dhabi, whether it's in Alabama, Oklahoma, he's hopscotching states, but he goes with you. If you want to work something out, I'm happy to whatever you guys want to do, but it's only fair, it really. But like I said, if you guys work something out, I'm happy to entertain whatever you guys want to do. But you guys talk, don't
Understand.
not here. He's going to take him back. I'm going to let you guys talk, see what you want to do. I'm all ears. I'm always open to anything else. But the bill comes due. All right. Take your time. There's no rush. Mr. Williams, you are charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 9 days in jail with credit for the 19 days that you've done. I want you to understand that this behavior is just unacceptable, and I'm serious when I mean that. Here, we're about accountability. And if I don't hold you accountable, I'm telling you it's okay, and that you can just continue to run amok and and railroad. And it's not. We mean business. We're here to not only protect the community, but to teach you a lesson so that you understand that it can't continue, right? I don't know what happened over there. But when you're on bond, you can't pick up a felony case, and there are consequences, and I hope that you get it, right? The other thing that you need to get also now is that this will reflect as a conviction on your record. If you're ever in a car, I don't care where you are, I don't care what state you're in, you get pulled over and you have a smell of anything funky, they're going to probably take you in. They see that you have a prior DWI, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck. So if I were you, I would never, ever get into a car, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, a toke off of a joint, you smell anything funky, I'm telling you, you're going to go down. And what we're doing today, from now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. So like I'm saying, I'm doing this, believe it or not, to help you, because we want to see the best in you. We want the best from you. Be better, do better. You know, you're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses, testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal once you accept this agreement. You can never change this or undo this. It will go on your record. It will be there forever. I have to suspend your license. I am going to suspend it for 180 days. There is also a mandatory suspension, a DPS surcharge. I will waive that for you now, but I want you to understand that if you come back a second offense, you're looking at a minimum of $6,000 in fines and fees, not to mention another court cost of around $600 to $700. So you pick up another DWI, not only is a minimum 30 days, but you're looking at probably around $7,000 in fines and fees. Just one button on this phone, $30, wherever you want to go in this, don't matter where you want to go. That's what you need to do. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? I'll find you guilty. I will sentence you to it. You're going to walk out of here. You're not going to owe anything, but don't come back. All right. Thank you, counsel. All right, guys. Good luck. Yes, sir. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Good morning. I wanted to bring you out because there's things I would like to address with you. I don't know if at the time we ordered her not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. Let me see. One of the things that I ordered you to do was not have any contact with a Ronnie Boo Slyman.
Yeah.
And I see now that you have picked up a continuous family violence felony case. You don't have to say anything. I'm just letting you know what's happening.
Okay.
Now, we asked you not to do several things, and you have now violated several conditions of our bond. One of those being, number one, we asked you, or we ordered you not to have any contact with this person. And allegedly, you've picked up now a felony assault against this person. You picked up a felony violation of a bond condition or protective order. And you also have picked up a felony assault against a peace officer. Because of this, I'm going to now revoke the bond here that you have here, and I'm going to raise it up. I'm not going to give you a PR bond when you continue to violate conditions. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my public at all costs. And I'm going to tell you now, there are certain people in this life, when they consume alcohol, they become funny people. They have fun, they laugh like little rainbows, gumdrops, gummy bears, and little bunnies jumping in the woods. And there are those, when they consume alcohol, they develop horns, they become the antithesis of what a person should be. And if alcohol has this kind of effect, don't use, because that may very well be the source of all these issues. I don't know, but I'm taking a stab.
Judge,
And I hope not. But
hey, Judge, just to let the court know, since she's been on bond conditions, she did voluntarily check herself into treatment for alcohol. So as the court knows, that, you know, the road to recovery is long and bumpy. She's in a difficult situation, being that she's originally from Mongolia. Is that right?
No, Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. I'm sorry, Kazakhstan. She had, you know, a pretty crazy story about getting here. This guy that the court told her to stay away from, you know, is like one of her only connections, and he's also done some inducement to get her back over there. I understand that it was ordered for her to stay away from him, but it makes it difficult when you don't really have a lot of people to rely on, and then you have someone who's trying to basically get you to hang out with them, even though they know that it's been ordered that she shouldn't. But I just want to let the court know that she is taking steps to try to better herself and her situation. It's just she's in a difficult spot between the addiction and lack of resources.
Even if that's the case, if you know that alcohol has this effect and it brings out the worst, then don't. You already have an open case. And you know, if you have no one to rely on in this world, if you go to jail, they're not going to bond you out, then you have to think of these things when you're out there. Because sometimes, you may have but 1/10 of a second to think, oh God, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen? Now, where are we?
Can I say something?
Well, it's now, anything you tell me, it's going to go in this ear and it's going to go out that ear, because I know
I got you.
if I let you out, you're still going to do whatever you want to do. You don't care what we say. That's the problem. And when you come here and when we talk to you initially, we try to tell you, look, this is how we expect you to act. This is what we expect you to do. And when you do, and when you show up to court, and when you talk with Hunter, good things happen. Now, I'm telling you this for the future because I don't know what's going to happen from here on out. All I know is that you have very serious cases upstairs. And in the future, going forward, whatever may happen, whether it's a probation, whether it's this, think before you act. And if the source and the root of all evil is, no matter how bad the addiction is, if you don't, it only gets worse. It never gets better. And the older you get, the more difficult life becomes. You get older, bigger, fatter, you lose hair, life doesn't get easier. And when you get more of this, so I hope that you take the help that is offered now, because we're going to offer you help and we want the best to come out of you, right? We want the best for you. But you can't continue like this. So now, like I told Hunter, I am going to revoke your bond. I'm going to raise it up to 5,001. We'll come back in a couple weeks and see how we go forward. But I can't give you a PR bond when you pick up 3 felonies.
Judge, may I make argument for bond amount?
Sure.
She currently has bond amounts on her felonies that she can't afford. She's indigent. That's evidenced by the fact that I was appointed to her, and also given a little bit of her background, she's not only indigent, but she's has a lack of resources. Otherwise, I would ask the court to consider $250 bond.
Gotta love you, Hunter. Gotta love you.
Just taking
The
into
bond's at
account.
$2,500 now, so that would mean lowering the bond. I'm going to set it at 5,001. We'll go forward. It looks like your felony case is set for February. You will go to felony court in February. Hopefully, you guys can wrap this up and try to get everything quick so you don't just sit there and linger.
Just ask for a speedy trial date on this case.
Absolutely. I have to give them at least 30 days for them to get all their stuff in preparation. Is it your case? Is it
It's actually Conrad's.
Conrad's? Yeah. Okay. I guess let's do this. Is he here? You want to talk to?
Not by, but I can give him a call, maybe.
No, but I want to give him a head, or if you can give him a heads up that that's where we're at. I guess let's set it for early next week. Is discovery complete in the case? Wait till at least we have some discovery first.
I think it's all complete.
I think we're still waiting on body cam. Let me see that. Yeah, it looks like it looks like the body cam was re-requested.
We don't even have body cam. Let's do this. Let's set it for next week, like late next week. See if we can get the body cam. If you can get it, and then we can get also Conrad to come approach, and then we can set it at that time if you want. Yeah?
Good, Judge.
All right. We wish you the best of luck, man. Take care. So you now stand charged. You picked up a terroristic threat of a family or a household member. you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. I don't know what happened in this case. I'm just now seeing it for a first time. All I know is that you're on bond for this case, for another case, and now you picked up a new one. So let's go forward and
Officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas. Complaining witness showed officers text messages ranging from May 2024 to November 2024, where the defendant sent her photos of guns and threatened to shoot the complaining witness and their child. Defendant also stated he would shoot up her house and hoped that he would hit her and the child.
when is the statement that he was going to shoot up the house? Was that from May and that he's just investigating this? Because that's not a terroristic threat. But if it was an active thing where he was,
Well, it looks like the offense, so per the offense report, the actual offense took place on November 8th.
okay,
But I believe that she showed them old text messages.
okay, so when was that statement that I'm going to shoot up the house and yada, yada, yada? Sure, take your time.
And Judge, while they're looking, it's not alleged when the statement was. And not only that, it's not reported till 3 days later. Furthermore, in the reviewing the text messages that have been submitted, there's not a single text message that has that specific threat in it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's the state's burden to show, I don't know, but terroristic threat has to be an immediate fear of harm.
So I don't see an actual date in the offense report. I personally have not reviewed the text messages in this case, Judge. I don't see a date of the actual threat.
That's not a good thing. I mean, who knows when that statement was made? Could have been made 2 years ago, could have been made yesterday. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I mean, if you don't have anything else, then that's it. Okay, I'm gonna find no probable cause. Mr. McCollum, we're not asking much, man. We want our streets to be safe. I'm gonna do everything in my power to protect the streets, right? If I find that you're a problem, if they call back and it continues to happen, it's not gonna go well. Life is way too short to live in a 6x9 box. There are a lot of great people in life. There's a lot of bad people in life. And if you have a relationship with a so-called person that brings out the worst in you, then don't have a relationship with this person. There's a gajillion and one fish in the sea. It's not worth it to have someone rap you so bad that you make and say things that make you go to jail. It's not worth it. Do you understand? Now, don't have contact with this person because it's just not going to end well. All right? All right. So I'm going to continue bond. I'm not going to revoke your bond on this case now because I'm finding no probable cause, but just behave. It's not hard. Be nice. All right. Okay.
Judge.
For sure. Hello.
Hi, this is Audrey. She works with me.
Oh, man, I've known her for years.
I thought so. She has a son that is in the fire brigade at one of the plants and stuff. And he has watched you on YouTube and he likes your court. And
Great.
he would like to come down one day and sit and watch the
Love
court.
that. Your son?
Yes.
We'd love to have him.
And he's-
Of course. Yeah. Anytime he wants, he can
And
grab a
he
front
said-
seat.
Mom, can you take his picture and send it to me?
No, well, I don't know about that, but we'd love to have him come and hang out with us, and then I'll take a picture with him. We can hang out. And, yeah,
I knew you would.
I
but-
really
course.
appreciate it.
anyone that ever wants to come, we're always happy for them. You learn, and it's a great learning environment. And that's why we do this, so that everybody sees it,
And
learns.
he loves that, and he always puts it, like, he shares it
Really,
with all his friends. Yes.
that's wonderful.
And he says,
Love
Mom,
that.
did you go to his court
Some
today?
friends, come to bring some friends.
Yes.
We're happy to
I
have
will.
everybody.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank you,
Judge.
Judge.